Kayuf of Israel by unanimous decision in the semi-final. And he just overwhelmed him, really, the Italian. He's tall, he gets in and out well, he's busy, fights at a high tempo. And looked a pretty good all-round package. But he's up against another Russian in Ivan Tikhonov, and I like the look of Tikhonov when I saw him in his semi-final against Mamuka Sartanya of Georgia. He's also beaten Ivan Kucharenko of Poland. He's a very mature fighter, Tikhonov. When you look at him, physically he looks quite mature, he's strong, but he's got good ring craft. He puts on pressure with his feet really well, and when I saw him in the semis, he managed to manoeuvre his opponent around the ring and get them to go where he wanted them to go, and managed to get the fight at his kind of range. Just look at the shoulders on him there. For a 15, 16-year-old, he's quite physically mature. And mentally, he's kind of the same. As I said, he's got a good boxing brain on him. So this should be quite an intriguing battle between these two. Gugliotta is quite aggressive, will set a fairly high tempo. Tikhonov will look to try and slow him down a little bit, I would say. I don't think he'll necessarily want to go with him at the pace that Gugliotta sets. And whoever can get control of that and get control of the distance, well, that's really what it's all about. So this one at the light welterweight limit of 63 kilos. Tikhonov has won a silver medal at the European Juniors before, so he's looking to go one better here and get the gold. He's in the blue. That's him there, representing Russia. Gugliotta of Italy in the red, and he towers over him, really. He's very tall for the weight, Gugliotta, and he does look to try and use it. So two orthodox fighters here. Gugliotta, Italy, red. Tikhonov, Russia, blue. Gugliotta, he's got a bit of that fast twitch about him, a little bit of nervous energy going on there. Slightly tense style at times, but I don't think that's because he's nervous, it's just the way he does it. Turning southpaw very early on here, Tikhonov. Looking to just inch forward with that front foot, and that's what I was talking about. He's just on you with that front foot, taking your space, putting you under pressure. Back to orthodox now, just edging you backwards, manoeuvring you back towards the neutral corner there, Gugliotta. Just making you feel like you're under that bit of pressure. Gugliotta just using the jab, and that could be key for him. Single right hand there from Tikhonov. He's quite sparing with what he throws. Left hand to the body there, just stole that one. Again, just switches stance. Left hand on the inside, caught Gugliotta standing quite tall. He wants to be careful he doesn't pull back out with his chin up in the air, the Italian, or he could be in a little bit of trouble. Tikhonov switching stances mid-combination there almost. Left hand to the body. Just short with the right there, Gugliotta. Tried the uppercut as he was backed up to the ropes, which might not be a bad idea for him. Head's almost cracking together on the inside there. Single left hand gets through, another left hand gets through from Tikhonov. As I said, he does punch quite sparingly, but quite accurately. Short left hand gets through there as well. And this is why he's a clever fighter, because, as you say, as I've been saying, he just inching forward, creeping forward with that front foot. He's holding the centre of the ring for the most part, and the accurate punching that's come in this round has come from him. And increasingly as the round has gone on, he's making Gugliotta fight his fight and fight at his pace. And 10 lines across the board there from Tikhonov. Do you see what I mean about him? He's got this Jedi mind trick hold over you. He makes you do what he wants you to do. Gugliotta will not have wanted that to happen in that round. The first 30 seconds went the way he might have wanted. Nice and busy, up on his toes, in and out. By the end of the round, it's like he's in a trance.
It was just too easy as well for that distance to be closed down for Tikhonov for at least half of that round. you wouldn't expect, because Gugliotta was having his arms, particularly that left arm, outstretched quite a lot to try and keep him at bay. But the Russians still able to find that way in, which some of the people that have used their range and that jab so well, and we've seen it throughout today so far, some of their opponents haven't been able to do, but the Russian has been able to find that way to get underneath, to get inside. It now needs to do more when he gets there, because it's still just quite often getting limited into this being another clench or not really getting anything too clean off. But you feel if he's now got that ability to get inside, then he can start really starting to put some blows into the body and those short, sharp, dangerous punches.
So it's the second round. Gugliotta of Italy in the red, Tikhonov of Russia in the blue. 10-9 with all the judges to Tikhonov in that opening round. I'm not sure he will be all that more expansive in the second. I think he just goes about his business. He's confident in his approach. He's confident that he can land enough and stay out of the way and win the round clearly enough without really having to open up too much. Gugliotta just hitting mainly gloves there. Good upper body movement from Tikhonov, but this is busier at the start of the round from Gugliotta. That's what it needs to be, but a nice left hand to the body again there from Tikhonov. It doesn't really look like there's much on these punches, but it's always hard to tell unless you're the one in there. It's interesting talking to fighters sometimes. They'll tell you that some fighters really don't look like they bang that hard, but actually when you take one off them, you're surprised by what it can take out of you. Tikhonov just stepping in there, looking for the left to the body, then switches upstairs, and that was a lovely left hook. And again, he's just using his feet to corral Gugliotta around the ring. Nice combination on the inside here. It's just good ring craft. 1-2 from Gugliotta, mainly taken on the gloves. Right hand from Tikhonov, who gets through with another left there, heading in towards the final 30 seconds of round two. I'm absolutely sure at the start of this fight, Gugliotta's plan would have been to really try and unsettle Tikhonov, disrupt that rhythm, disrupt that flow, not let him settle in the way that he has. But he's just found it very, very difficult to do. There was a right hand there from Tikhonov, who again has switched between orthodox and southpaw, and he's not necessarily the kind of fighter who will catch some people's eye, Tikhonov, but there's that combination at the end of the round. But I like him a lot, just the way he goes about it. For somebody so young, he looks like he's been doing this forever.
Yeah, totally stood in his comfort zone for the majority of that round, and there's 2 10-8s and 3 10-9s in favour of the Russian there. He takes a commanding lead then on the scorecard. It's almost like he's not curled up in a shell so much that he's being safe, but he's just poised and ready to go, but very solid, and he just makes his opponent move around where he wants him to without really moving too much himself. It's quite weird that he's got his opponent where he wants, but he hasn't really made much of a movement to move him in that position at all.
That's the skill, that's the ring craft. It's the use of that front foot. He's on top of you with it. He's on top of you with it. He just takes your space, just moves you this way, moves you that way, sets you up. He's just a really, really clever fighter. And he's got a good lead here. 1-2 runs out of 2. There was a 10-8 in there as well. Gugliotta of Italy, look at that nice wide stance. He's got some height to him. He's got that reach. He hasn't really shot that jab out, but then as soon as he jabbed there, Tikhonov went straight over the top of it with the right hand, because he can tend to bring that jab back quite low, Gugliotta. And as soon as he threw it, the Russian went right over the top of it.
Almost seems at times when you watch him as well that he has longer arms than you think he does, the Russian, because they're always right down at his side, and rather than reaching out too often. And then when he throws it, it's got a lot more extension than it initially looks when he's in that sort of position that he is now.
Again, just backing his opponent up to the blue corner there. Gugliotta throwing 2-3 jabs there. They're punches really that are just designed to try and keep Tikhonov off him into the second minute of the round. Swapping punches there. Left hand landed from Gugliotta, but a right hand landed from Tikhonov, and just a minimal movement of the head there from Tikhonov. Slipped to his left hand side through the left hand. just catching that jab, and then throws the short right hand from Tikhonov. Referee just having a word with Gugliotta about sticking the shoulder in there. There wasn't anything particularly untoward about that. Left to the body from Tikhonov, and Gugliotta's stuck to his task here. He's hung in there, but he just hasn't really been able to make too much of an impression on Tikhonov. A little bit of a laboured right hand there from the Italian. He just catches a couple as he's manoeuvred back towards the ropes, and that would be the word for the bout, really, manoeuvring, because that's what Tikhonov has managed to do to the opponents he's faced during the course of the last few days. He makes you fight his fight, controls the distance, and in boxing, if you control the distance, then you control the fight, and he's won that one at an absolute canter. I don't want to be too unkind to Gugliotta, because he's a good fighter, but Tikhonov made that look like a spar at times. Yeah, he's that good, I think.
Gugliotta with the bludgeon nose a bit as well, that shows the damage that has been done to him. Yeah, it's just perplexing at times to watch of how he's able to control a fight with such ease and confidence. And we'll go to the ring for the official announcement.
Blue corner, TIKHONOV, Russia.
And some 10-8s in that final round, 3 10-8s in fact, so he's won that by wide margins. 3 scores of 30-26, 1 of 30-25, and 1 more straightforward 30-27. He's won every round comfortably, and a good display. I was impressed with him in the semi-final. You could tell that there was